Heads? Tails, alright?
Yeah, I got
Alright.
tails.
You got tails?
Yeah.
Alright, we are at the first show ever. We're in Woodstock. We're going to try this out and see how it goes. Stay tuned because there's going to be lots of craziness. So about a month ago, I told my fiance that I'd love to vend a show one day. I've been a Pokemon fan my whole life, and I've been in this hobby for quite some time. I spend way too much time watching other vendor POV content, so I had to give it a try myself. That same night, we saw an ad for a show looking for vendors in my hometown. So we wasted no time and we reached out, paid for a table, and just like that, I was about to vend my first show. Wait, I'm about to vend my first show. And let me tell you, it was great. Now that the show's over, I can happily say that all of my worries flew out the door the second I got my table set up. I had pretty good inventory, my table looked nice, and I was even making connections with other vendors before the show even started. Turns out, it was a lot of their first shows too, so I didn't feel like an outcast. I felt equal. I am more of an introverted person, but as soon as I got my table set up, all of my confidence came back and I was doing great. I sold lots of inventory, I handled negotiations very well, and I did lots of good deals with some kids. As a new vendor, I had about $3,000 worth of singles and $1,000 worth of slabs. My inventory isn't crazy big, but you gotta start somewhere. So for my first show, I decided to do lots of buying. For most of the cards that came to my table, I was paying around 75 to 80% of market just so I could beat the competition along the show. Now, this isn't some set rule or anything, but as a new vendor, I need lots of inventory, and I was selling lots, so I was definitely willing to spend a little bit more. And that's what made me realize, you don't need a huge inventory when you're starting out. Now, while I was buying a lot, I was also selling a lot of what I already had. I have been attending shows as a buyer for quite some time now, so I've become very apparent with what sells and what doesn't. Yes, there are lots of people who are looking for very niche cards and products, but the majority of people are looking for modern, liquid cards. A lot of people nowadays also collect cute cards. So that's mostly what I displayed: modern alt arts, illustration rares, SIRs, anything that can catch the eye. The only thing I wish I had more of was binder cards. By the end of the show, both of my binders were bare and ransacked. These were filled with full art trainers, cute IR cards, and some trainer gallery cards. Also a few vintage commons and VMAX cards. I had a few slabs displayed, but not a single one of them sold. I think this was because it was more of a smaller show and very family oriented. There was also another show going on in a big city near me where more business happens. You kind of have to understand what kind of show you're attending before you attend it. This show had lots of kids. I don't think kids and their parents are going to want to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on slabs that often. Now, vendors use all different kinds of display cases, but at the end of the day, it does not matter what you use. Heck, you could just lay your cards out on the table if you wanted to. I simply ordered a bulletin board from Amazon and it worked great. Vendors who have been in the space for a long time typically run 2 to 4 tables. I only had one and that was more than enough for me. Like I said, my binders were ransacked, so always make sure you have at least a binder or two of cheap, lower end cards. So if your inventory doesn't need to be massive, what actually matters when you're standing behind the table all day? There are a few things at my table that I had that made the experience so much better and easier. I also had a couple things that I thought would matter but didn't. The biggest thing wasn't even physical, it was how approachable my table felt to begin with. Buyers are walking around all day. If they don't feel intrigued to check out your table, they won't. Do your best to make your table look as clean as possible. I would definitely recommend a tablecloth. This hides the bare look to your table and helps you look a little bit more professional. A lot of vendors have banners or big logos to display. I simply had my YouTube handle written on a piece of lined paper and even I managed to get a subscriber. If you have the budget for it, definitely go for it, but for your first show, you don't need to go crazy. And really, if you're not sure about your table's aesthetic, walk around the show and see what other people's tables look like. If you're recording, don't forget any of your gear. Mics, camera, tripod, all of it. And most of all, do not forget snacks and water. You might be trapped behind that table all day, and the last thing you want is to get grumpy because you're hungry and thirsty. There are some venues that offer food or concession stands, but if you really want to save money and make the most out of your experience, just pack a lunch. So why exactly did I decide to start vending? I think the biggest reason was so I can make more money to invest in the hobby using the hobby itself and not taking money out of my bank account. And while I was making good sales, it wasn't just sales that I was providing. Buyers see vendors as someone who knows what they're talking about. At one point, I was explaining to a family how to recognize fake cards, and I was also giving my advice on what cards I would invest in. Alright, we got a big coin flip going on, 0 or 10.
You flip.
Me flip, you want to call it? All right, heads, tails, all right?
Yeah, I got
all right. Call it, you got tails? Enjoy. Damn, 0 for 1. So before you vend, I would definitely know what you're doing because anybody could ask any question at your table and the last thing you want to do is stutter and tell them that you don't know because that makes you look a little bit more unprofessional. Now I've covered everything about the show itself, so let's get into what I loved, disliked, and what I wish I did differently so you can learn from me and take this into your vending experience. What I loved most about the show was how easy it felt. Anyone who came to my table I either had great conversation with or I made a great sale with. Now I really couldn't think of anything that I disliked about the show. I know all shows are going to be different and have different aspects to them, but this show felt very family oriented, very fun and easygoing for my first show. I didn't make a single bad negotiation and people were actually enjoying my inventory. If there was anything that I would do differently, it would be to carry more coins with me. I am Canadian, so I do have loonies, toonies, and all that jazz. A lot of people were going through my binders for $3, $4, $5 cards, and I always had to give coins back. And this one's not really show related, but I wish I tested my audio before the show. My mic was incredibly buggy, so unfortunately I am not able to use any of the audio. But oh well, I learned from it and I can only do better going forward. If you are on the fence about vending your first show, just know that you don't need to be prepared, you just need to start. That's all I got for this video. Hopefully this was beneficial to you and hopefully this encourages you to start your vending dream. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing and leave a comment if I missed anything at all. Bye guys.